What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be diving back into Slipways. We had the really great experience of playing this game back when it came out with a demo on the Steam Festival, and the developer has been really cool with me. I mean, I wrote him a glowing email about how much I enjoyed the demo, and he was like, oh, well, here, I'll just let you into, like, my little closed beta. And so I've had the game for about a year now, and I play it off and on, and it's honestly a really elegant game. If you've never played Slipways before, you know how when you play like EVE Online, or you play like the X games, or you play like any starfaring game, there's jump gates? Well, in this game, you're building an empire by building those jump gates. And this game really, its goal is to distill logistical and strategy and 4X ideas into a streamlined package that you can play in about 25 minutes. And this game can be as deep thinking as you want it to be, in all honesty. This game is very easy to play. It's very casual if you want it to be easy and casual. And if you want to min-max the hell out of it, you can also do that. You can spend 20 minutes a turn if you want to, trying to decide what you want to do next. And, you know, that's what I like about this game, is that it's both accessible, has depth, and is a very elegant, streamlined idea for making 4X games very rapid fire. And so anyways, I think Slipways is truly something special. I've loved it since the moment that I touched it during the Steam Festival about a year ago. And so this is the final version. It's coming out this week. Let's go ahead and we're going to start a game off here. There are new options that did not exist in the original demo. In fact, this stuff did not exist like a month or two ago inside this little closed beta that he gave to like very limited amounts of people. We've got a campaign, we've got our ranked runs, we've got a standard run, and we've got endless mode. I unlocked endless mode earlier today when I was playing the game to refresh my memory, but the campaign mode, I gotta get 3 stars in a standard run before I can do that. I am interested in the campaign and what it holds inside of it, but I just haven't managed to hit 3 stars yet with the limited amount of free time that I get on a daily basis. So anyways, let's dive on into a standard run, and we'll talk about what makes Slipways special, what makes it a really good game, and I'll talk about how the game actually plays. So at the beginning, we've got to decide on like a sector where we want to put stuff. Normally it's just randomized and it puts this wherever. I don't know if it actually matters. Like if you come closer in towards the core, there'll be more bodies that are closer to each other, and if you go farther out from the center of the galaxy, it'll be more spread out. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but we'll go for like right there for right now. Apparently, you can also have quirks now that you can add on into your playthrough, so that's a mechanic that I haven't seen as well. I assume those are going to be modifiers that you sort of have to work around as you're building your empire. We'll accept the sector here. There's going to be a number of aliens that we can ally with. You get to pick 2 of these. So there's the Vatori. The Vatori really are all about ascension, and everything is moving towards perfection and flawlessness. The Bakar are basically space industrialists. They're all about exploiting everything to the maximum value. You've got the Silthid. The Silthid are all about hierarchy, and they are all about kind of communalism, and they're all about sacrificing individuality in order for the greater good, stuff like that. The Dender are empathetic. All they want to do is see the galaxy grow and everybody flourish. And then the Aphorians over here are all about business. They're all about money. They're all about transactions. They're all about, you know, mercantile exchanges and whatnot. I'm going to randomize this because, like, these guys, what you're doing here is you pick 2 factions to ally with, or 3 factions to ally with, and then once you pick your 3 factions to ally with, you pick 2 of them to receive perks from, and they will give you missions periodically that kind of like advance their goals in the galaxy, and if you complete those goals, you get bonuses for the random events and stuff that come up during the course of the game. So randomized, we got the Aphorians. It looks like we got, what were those guys called again? I always forget their name, the blue guys. What are the blue guys called? The Vatori. Gotcha. Okay, so anyways, we've got the Bakar, we've got the Silthid, and we've got these guys over here. They have a number of perks. You can basically like pick these. These are like researches that they're going to give you right here. And then down at the bottom, they've got perks that you pick, and you only get to pick 2 of these. So with the Aphorians, they are well prepared. You get 50 or 60 credits at the start of the scenario. It's good, but not that great. We've also got artifact trading that allows you to turn remnant planets into goods exporters. We've got ourselves, for the Bakar, we've got explorers, so you get money for finding new planets. And then we've also got geology over here, so you can establish mines on lava, desert, and ice planets. For the Silthid, we've got space architects. That allows us to lower the build time on our structures by a month, so that's not too bad, especially since the game is on a timer. You have 25 years, basically, to accomplish everything that you can in the standard run. We've got joint factories over here too, which replaces the metal into semiconductors and the metal into robot options on Forge Worlds into Oh, a hybrid factory that gives you one of each. Okay, so a couple good options here. I tend to favor things that give you more options because at the end of the day, there's nothing worse in this game than getting, like, logistically hard stuck, like, in a corner of the galaxy. Like, you can't do anything else with it. And so the more stuff you can do with different types of planets, the less of a chance there is that you're going to hit kind of like a building wall, basically. And so anyways, I do like the artifact trading, but it's not that great because we can already do a lot of stuff with remnant planets, so like meh. Instead, I'll probably take geology, because that means if we have an uninhabitable planet that's like in the way of what we're trying to do, it gives us an option to make a mine on that planet instead, which takes something dead and useless and turns it into something that generates profit and generates research and all that kind of fun stuff. And then I'll probably take the hybrid factory over here too, because that's good. That's pretty variable. It could backfire on me because it's going to limit the amount of maximal production that I'll have, but it will allow me to do a very, very rare thing in this game, and that rare thing is produce 2 goods on one planet. Usually most planets are dedicated to producing like 1 good and 1 good alone. Being able to do 2, once again, limits our chances of hitting a hard wall while we're expanding our empire. So let's start it on off. At the beginning of the game, you're going to be in a blank area of the galaxy. All of these right here are sensor blips, so we can actually probe these pretty easily by clicking and dragging, and we can send out a probe to like right there and see what we've got. So it looks like we've got an arid planet, we've got a lava planet, we've got a jungle planet, and we've got a forge world. None of those are great for starting an empire. What I'm looking for is a hive world, a place where I can get my population up, and I'm not willing to compromise on that front. Starting out on a map that doesn't have a Terran planet, like right at the beginning, can be like a huge pain in the balls. So here we are, an Earth-like world, Pruitt 8. We're going to start off over here, and we'll talk about inputs and outputs, because that is the essence of the entire game. But let's look at the UI first before I do anything, because I have a tendency to get ahead of myself. Up at the top left, you'll see our allied factions. This is how many this is the size of our empire. These guys will give us quests from time to time. If we do those quests, we get bonuses. We have our happiness. If your happiness gets down below a certain threshold, the game ends instantly. Your happiness goes down by not supplying for the needs of the people in your edge of the galaxy. Everybody needs to be taken care of. So you really want to focus on making sure every planet is at least level 2 and maybe level 3. If you leave them at level 1, it's going to continuously drain your happiness because that means that needs are not being fulfilled. Right here is our research. This isn't going up yet, but it will at some point. We've got our money. You can only do stuff with money. The future functions just like real life now. We've got our timer, so this game is going to end in 3426. Every single time a year goes by, we can actually skip an entire year if we want to over here. We can also roll back our last decision, which I think is a really generous thing for the developers to do, and it eases up on a lot of the tension of making like really hard decisions, which is good. If you don't want to use that button, don't use it, and it'll make your gameplay a little bit more thoughtful, and it'll make your gameplay a little bit more intense and a little bit more consequential. But having it there is really, really nice if you just want to play the game casually. So, you know, if you're hardcore, ignore that button. If you just want to play for fun, that button's there and it'll help you out. Down at the bottom, we've got the ability to build laboratories and space stations and stuff, although for right now we can just do the laboratory. We've got our technology tree right here. Your technology is going to be different every single time you play the game based on the factions that you've allied yourself with, and then we've got our statistics over here so that you can figure out how well you're doing and if you're going to unlock anything midway through your run. Our first move, let's start this off over here. Time only advances when you do stuff, so as you can see it moved up to August. But if you just sit here and look around, nothing bad happens. We need to come up with a way to get food to this planet. That's going to be our first big struggle. We do have a forge world over here, and we do have that over there. However, we don't really have a way to supply population to all of these locations. We do have a hybrid factory, though, which I think will work out pretty good. So my thinking is we take this jungle planet, we take this planet right here, and we take the hybrid factory right here. And I sort of have a plan. As you can see, our happiness is going way down because I'm not fulfilling people's needs. I'm just kind of like playing around with stuff and having a good time. But anyways, we have tasks available from our overlords. They want us to establish an import hub, so that's a planet that has 3 imports going on into it. They want us to discover 7 new planets. That's very, very easy. And they want us to get a forge world up to successful. We picked 2 of these 3 objectives. I'm going to take the 7 planet exploration, and I'm going to take the forge world bonus. And so those are just going to be little passive things that we want to work on as time goes along. So what we need to do here is we need to... Actually, I need to get food over to here too, but I can't get the food over until I have the robots. So we're going to take the people. So let me talk about how this works. On the left are your inputs. Your inputs, this planet will be unhappy until they have both of their inputs. Once you get the basic inputs taken care of, you're going to get more advanced inputs that are going to allow you to level this planet up higher and higher. So this place needs people to produce metal. So we send people over there. We'll get a happiness bonus, and as you can see, our drop has gone from -4% to -3%. This place needs metal to produce semiconductors and to produce robots. Bam. There you go. Now we've got a -2. This place over here can produce food so long as we get robots to it. We have robots, so the robots are away. And in fact, its level 2 bonus was that it needed semiconductors. And so this place actually filled in both of those right there to make our lives easier. On this side, we need food. And there you go. We've completed the circuit. Really, like, nobody's super unhappy right now except for this planet. The downshot here is... I did not want these semiconductors to go over here. I wanted the semiconductors to go over here and the food to go over here. So this is where you get yourself into a little bit of trouble. I need their metal to go somewhere so that they get more successful. Or I'm sorry. Are they at max level right now? They need another import route. Gotcha. All right, so we need to kind of like see if there's something that takes metal over here. There is not. Is there something that takes... Well, there's a mine right there. That's not too awful. But we need to find a source of semiconductors over here. Otherwise, this is just not going to work. So we'll go with that right there. And bam, bam, bomb. We fixed it. Now we're even, and we've got 97% happiness. So if you take like a little dip on happiness as you're playing the game, don't stress about it. You can fix it most of the time, and if you can't fix it, just roll back until before you made that decision. You know what I mean? Like, I like how forgiving the game is, while at the same time really kind of requiring a level of thought. The Bakar are happy because we completed their quest. That's good. We need this Forge world to level up. That's what I need. I don't really have anything I can send off over here. Let's take a look on this side. Still nothing. Still nothing. And I've got one metal left over on this side. I'd like to do something with it, in all honesty. All right, so we've got nothing right there. So we've just got like a big, beefy expanse on that side. That's kind of a bummer. We'll take over this lava planet. That'll give us a little bit of metal that's available in case there's other stuff we want to do. We can get more metal right here. And I am of the opinion, can I get a slip gate over there? I cannot. Okay. That would have been nice, because if I get people over there, we get the 2 waters that would fulfill the things that they want. Now I have to get it from alternate sources. Bummer. If I can get robots over to here, we can double up on water. And I think I can draw a line to there, and I think I can draw a line to there. But this was the optimal option right here. Let's go see if we can uncover some planets right there. Maybe something we can work with. We've got another water world on that side. Man, I mean, a tricky situation right here. Okay. I'm going to mine that asteroid to get $24 because we're a little bit low on cash. And now that we've mined that, we can send people over there. That'll give us robots. Robots will pull out 1 water over there. But this one can't make the connection over to there. But it does solve one of our issues. Yeah, let's do the robot thing. We'll bring the robots over here. Now it's producing 2 robots. We'll get an algae and a water out of that planet. We'll get... Send that to there. No, not a whole lot I can do with that one. So I'm not going to fall on that mine just yet. We'll deal with that in a minute. But we did get that kind of cleared out. And if we can get algae out somewhere, we might be able to do something over here. Can you do anything with algae on a water world? You cannot. Okay, let's uncover a few more planets and just sort of see what happens here. Algae and robots on this side gives us food, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to set up for later. So there you go. Algae and robots. This place is leveled up to 3 on Vonnegut 9. Vonnegut is one of those writers that I have several of his books. I always get like halfway in, and like with Vonnegut, like, you are well aware of the fact that this person is, like, a very, very high intelligence who is, like, way, way smarter than you, and that you're, like, really struggling to grasp the essence of just, like, some of the higher level thoughts that he's having. You're like, man, it's really unfair how some people out here are really, really smart, and some people like me really, really dumb, isn't it? We'll put a research base in right here. And the goal of this research base, if you put a person into a research base and you put an output into a research base, it'll give you research. And so now we've got research generating every single turn. So we can start unlocking some of these technologies to see if maybe we can find a way to, like, dig ourselves out of this weird stopgap we have just in this area. Over here, if we have a Terran world, that's easy peasy. I could send the grain over to there. If I have people, I can get algae right there, but not really what I'm going for. We can drop that right there. That gives us a forge world, which is not awful, and I can colonize it. The forge world, however, I don't think has anywhere to actually send their product. I can make robots, and that'll produce water right there, but water doesn't really help me on the Arctic planet. We need goods is what we really need for most of these places. Let me see if there's something a little sexier over on this side. There's absolutely no penalty for just, like, bypassing and not doing something with a planet. So, like, if you don't like a planet, don't use that planet is really what it comes down to. Just don't bother with it. I can get food over here. So we have, like, a miner's supply chain right here. And if we can get ore and food over to here, we can produce some more peepo. I think that's an okay idea. I don't know if it's what I super want to do. Can I get a gate over to there still? I can. Okay, let's gate it up. So we have food, and if we send over raw ore, we can get people over here. Now, there's certain things that as you play this game for more and more hours, you will come to realize. It's that if you don't know so, like, every now and again, you're going to have to leap off the diving board, and you're going to have to go for a planet that you don't know what it connects to, and you're going to have to pick an output for that planet. My recommendation is always people, food, robots. And then once you unlock solar arrays, it goes people, food, transistors. But, like, we don't have that technology for right now. But if you're trying to decide what to make an output for a planet that's, like, way off in the reach over here and you don't know what it's going to connect to, I find that most of the planets in the game have an interaction for people, they have an interaction for food, and they have an interaction for robots. So if you pick one of those three, chances are you'll have a connection nearby. All of the other resources are a little bit more niche, and you're going to have to, like, find a way to make them work. So, like, for example, if you're going out to this planet right here, don't make this planet produce algae. Don't make this planet produce water. Don't make this planet, to produce, like, things that have very, very limited connections compared to the other resources. I can actually send robots down there to get goods. Is that what I want to do, though? No, I think we should probably do that. Because that'll go to there. We do that right there. Give that a little bit of a saucier connection. Actually, I should have made goods. I could have taken Hope 1, and I could have made Hope 1 way more awesome. Yeah, well, that's life. Sometimes you make little mistakes. But we do have people available, kind of on the edges of the fringe of our empire. And so that's never a bad thing. We've got food over there. Unfortunately, I have no way to get algae down to this location. So that planet I'm going to let sit for a little bit. These right here are forebearer ruins. If you put people on a forebearer ruin, depending on how much reputation you have with your sponsoring factions, it'll make this thing do different stuff. And, like, the implications of that are pretty far-reaching in terms of the gameplay mechanics. Like, these guys right here, I tend to sit on them for most of the game until I really, really, really need them for something. Well, I was giving a pause for a minute. I was making a little edit right there so that I could kind of think about what I wanted to do. We have researches available. We can get freeze-resistant robots. That allows us to turn robots into water on ice balls. We can get the lichen farm, which is also on ice balls. So this is a really useful perk, because what this does is it makes useless planets useful. We don't have any ice balls right now, so I think we can probably pass on that research for the moment. But if we did have several ice ball planets in this area, I'd probably take that, just because it takes things that are just dead weight and makes them pull a little bit. These solar superconductors right here, these are fantastic. So what these allow you to do is that if you're on a desert planet, you can now turn a transistor into energy. And energy is a special resource in this game that can be used selectively to supply any missing need to any planet that's connected to the planet that's producing the electricity. And so this is a really, really good technology. Like, honestly, I think it's probably one of the best technologies in the game, just because it allows you to shore up inefficiencies and fix problems. So that's a remnant world. Where's a desert planet at? I want to plan around my desert planets. There's a desert planet. I don't have any way to get transistors to it, though. If I can get food over there. Actually, we're kind of like stuck on this side. That's not great. I probably could have arranged this a little better by not taking that planet and making the jump over to here. Yeah. I may have messed us up over on that side. On this side, we've got water and food. We'll create a person. Okay. On this side, we need robots, algae, a bunch of stuff we don't have. All right, well, let's go this direction. Nothing. Goose eggs. Feels bad. See if we can get those over there. Nothing. Goose eggs. Oh, man. We're in a precarious situation right now. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that over to there and just kind of like hope that this works out. We're producing metal on this side. It's decent, but it's not a great resource for expansion. Yeah, we got ourselves in a bad situation on this side. Got ourselves in a little bit of a pickle on this side. A little bit of a pickle everywhere, in all honesty. Tough map. Real tough map. If I can run that connection to right there, that may just bail us out. And in fact, I think that it did. Okay, we got to decide what we want to use this electricity on. To get us out of this rut, I think we use the electricity on this planet right here to produce people. So we connect that, and then we're just going to click and drag that onto there. They now have their thing that they require, and that actually opens us up. They need robots over there. I can't produce robots right now. Feels badaroonies, feels badaroonies. All right. Well, we have expansion options over here, so I'm just going to go with doing what I can rather than obsessing about what I might be able to do, which I think is a rut that you fall into in this game sometimes. It's very, very easy to fall into that line of thinking and being like, okay, well, I want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be exact. As long as you're not losing happiness, you're in pretty good shape, and I wouldn't worry about it. We've got a remnant world over here. If I could do something, I'm sorry, we've got a forge world over here. If I could do something with that, that'd be nice. Another forge world over there. We could produce robots right here and have the robots produce goods, and then maybe the goods could make the jump over to here. Maybe. It's out of range. Our slip gate would be too long. Later on, we can get a technology that makes our slip gates longer, and you can make them bigger jumps, but for right now, we can't complete that circuit, no matter how bad we want to complete that circuit. And these guys over here need people, and so that's obstructed. That over there doesn't need people. What is this? It's kind of a waste to waste a probe on like one thing. Actually, this is pretty much our only option over here, so we're going to have to go with that. This will produce... I think we go robots, and we go robots into food over here. That's what I think. Oh, that's right. I can't connect that, huh? It's obstructed. Okay, I hate that. Let's see. Well, then let's go water right here. Water goes over to there, so they're now stocked up, which means they can hit both of these forge worlds. Hopefully there's something right here. If there's not, this is going to sucketh. We'll produce robots and transistors over here. And we will send a robot over to here to get food. We'll send the metal over there to make them happy and make this place prosperous. On this side, we can't do anything with that just... Well, we sort of can. I really want to connect that right there to complete the circuit and make this place prosperous, but just don't think I don't think the option's going to be there for a little bit. Yeah. Slipgates can't cross each other, in case you're wondering. You can't have a slipgate go across a slipgate. I think later on you get a technology that allows you to cross slipgates, but for right now, not an option. We could take the forebearer ruin right here, since there's nothing else that we can really do. That's going to come at a cost of, after we get our slipgates embiggened, we won't be able to supply goods over to here. So, something to think about, I guess. Nothing right there, so that's fine. We can destroy asteroids. I would recommend against destroying asteroids, though, just because asteroids can be used for interesting applications later on in the game. Later on, you can do things with asteroids, like habitate them. You can use them for mining, and so they can actually make nice little resource points in the middle of your empire in old, ancient areas where you can't really do anything anymore anyways. I can't get that over there because that's in the way. Later on, we'll get a technology as well called tractor beams that allows us to pull things around, be it planets, asteroids, forebearer ruins. So you can rearrange things, too, as you get further on into the game to make things a little bit nicer. I can get robots over to here to make water, but I don't need the water for anything. So I would be doing that just for the sake of doing it. We have another technology. We've got brain-machine interface, so if your planet is successful, you can put machine interfacing on it, which means that it'll increase your profits by 30%, or we can get freeze-resistant robots, but honestly, we haven't even seen an ice ball planet yet, so freeze-resistant robots, very, very limited in its applications right now, so I'm not going to fiddle with it. Yeah, let's clear out this little spot down here and see what happens. That's out of range, so we can't do anything with that. I think our best bet is to push to the right over here and hope we find a Terran world. There is just a forebearer ruin. There's a forebearer ruin in every spot where I don't want there to be a forebearer ruin. It has just been bad luck this entire game with these forebearer ruins just being in the way. Well, that plan failed magnificently. So, let's redirect and figure out something else to do. Our only play for right now is that we can move. I've looked at the entire map, and pretty much the biggest move we can make is just to go over to here. The downside to that is that both of these are really niche outputs. So, like, fungus and water, they have uses, but they're not that useful. Of the two, I think water is probably more useful, so I'll do that just to extend my line of sight and see if there's anything out here. Not really, is the answer to that question. Not really. Tough map. We got a real tough map today. This is a map that's really making me scratch my brain, and doing it at the same time while I'm doing commentary is incredibly difficult because you really do kind of want to plot out your moves and be very, very careful about what you decide to do. We are somewhat stuck right now. I don't think a gate can get down to there. That's too far, so we can't do anything on that side. What are you? An asteroid. Okay. We got to figure out what we want to do here. Oh, Earth-like. Nice. I didn't see you. Okay, never mind. We're not stuck. We're all right. We're in good shape. We're going to be okay. We'll take this forebearer ruin because, like, why not? So we can rebuild it. It turns into 2 electricity. I think that's definitely a good option, but we got to finish our Silthid quest first by getting a Forge World up to Prosperous. I could do it right now if I had anywhere that I could send this semiconductor, but I don't. Yep. Nothing to do with that semiconductor right there. However, I believe I just fixed one of our problems. So I could take you, put you right there. You produce goodies. Goodies go over here. And then we need to find a place to send their other goodie. And then they'll be prosperous. I need the technology that lets me move things very, very badly. Do I have that? Gravitic mining, mineral seeding. And wave augmentation. Oh, that increases my range. Let's do that. Okay, so that's helpful. Because... yeah, it'll let me get something down to there. So that means I can go like this. And that means that I can send robots over. Nope, don't need robots there. Never mind, I take that back. Was that what I wanted to do? What do I want to do with this forge world? Hold on a second. I'm going to roll that back for a minute. I wanted to do something with this, and I can't recall what I wanted to do with it now. We have a bit of an option right here. It's kind of risky, because I don't have a food supply isolated for that planet just yet. But it could work. The idea is that I use this place to soak the semiconductors so that that upgrades and I get my Silthid level. And then I can turn the Forebearer Ruin into an energy spot that can fill in everything around here that's missing an input. That's the idea. However, this is a risky play. This is a very risky play. Because this guy is going to be a big drain on my happiness as time goes along if I don't resolve that somehow. And honestly, I think it's probably a bad plan. Let's not do that. It's overly aggressive, and I think it's going to be a pitfall that's going to sink us over the course of our playthrough. I like the rollback button. I use the rollback button a lot. If I move people over to there, we can get water. Sure, why not? I've got extra peepo. We can do that. They need water and they need food. Okay. Grab that right there. I can get people out to there. So I think that's the play for right now. We can connect the water right there to make them happy, and that gets rid of one of their outputs. Those guys need people right there. They need water right there. So that expands us out a little further into the galaxy with another little triangle. And I think that's where we'll stop. This game is called Slipways. I think this game is utterly fantastic. I have no real complaints about this game. I think it's a remarkably original idea. I think the game looks great. I think the game plays great. I think it's a really, really fun game when it's like 1 in the morning and you're just kind of silently listening to like, you know, lo-fi beats or whatever. You can just sit here and just fiddle with it and see how efficient you can get your empire. One more planet and we will be a huge empire. But for right now, this is what it looks like from zoomed out. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Slipways. Tomorrow, we will more than likely have something else. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see y'all next time.